yung paniniwala tungkol sa pagiging addicted ng mga teens natin sa gadgets, ano ang specific explanation dito?
Medyo mahirap siya now kasi ang schoolwork at saka ang leisure mo just in one gadget. So how can you qualify yung term niya, yung kanyang ang use niya for leisure in comparison dun sa kanyang schoolwork? Kasi lahat talaga online na lahat ngayon. So kailangang i-measure mo kung saan siya addicted yung use ng social media. So yun dapat 2 hours ang i-recommend natin para may enough time siya matulog at magpahinga. Kasi yung iba, di ba, sobrang taga sa social media, yun ang ginagawa na R&R nila, wala lang panahon matulog. So yun yung inaano natin.
Okay, puntahan na natin ito.
Mm-mm.
Ano ang effective, efficient ways para makipag-usap sa kanila na yung judgment na parang, ito, baka pinipressure nyo kami o ano or what, na mawawala yun. Sige po.
Medyo mahirap siyang gawin ngayon na everyone is busy. But if you really make it a habit, not together as a family, you eat dinner together, and siguro check-in. Si mommy magsasalita ng kwento, magkikwento. Si daddy salita rin. Tapos bawat isang bata magkikwento. If you can create a safe space in the dining table, now you can actually listen to each other. So when you talk to a teenager, magandang pakinggan without judgment. Tapos tanong mo, anong plano mong gawin sa problema mong ito? Tapos you can actually give suggestions. So the term I prefer is negotiate kung anong gusto mo sa mga bata. Kasi you can actually direct them to the right solution. Pag-usapan nyo lang talaga. Pero you have to listen. Because sometimes, ang teenage, they don't want adults to fight their battles for them. They want actually na, as in, pakinggan mo muna side nila, tapos magbigay ka ng suggestion.
Okay. Quickly. Anong epekto nito pag hindi natin na-set itong mga binabanggit ninyo po?
Ang tendency niyan, they will ask help from other people, Dr. Google, yung social media. Doon sila hihingi. Hindi ang problema, yung mga hihinga nila lang information, hindi ganun ka-reputable. Hindi sila magtatanong sa magulang nila, sa sarilihin nila, tatanong sa kaibigan, na wala rin kasing alam, na wala rin ganong alam
Paano ito ina-address ng gobyerno? Is this alarming already? Itong issue ito?
about in general, schools are doing their part naman na inaano. Pero if you're referring to mental health services para matulungan sila, doctors are trying their best. For every teenager who comes with us, we try to do the interview para alam namin kung alarming na ba yung nangyayari. But so far, may mga teens naman na normal lang naman. Pero ang mga iba nakikita ko, talagang kailangan ng mental health na support.
Mayroon ba tayong data? Mayroon ba tayong survey, Doktora, at this point, na ito na yung mga kabataan, na ganito na yung sitwasyon? Dapat siguro may address natin ito so far.
As of the last, ang meron kaming survey is Young Adult Fertility Survey done by the UP Population Institute. The last data was gathered 2021. So ang sabi dito, 7.5% attempted suicide of the youth, meaning those 15 to 24.
Yes, because I have a friend who is a psychologist, psychiatrist, na talaga nagpunta mismo doon. She was invited doon sa place na pinangyarihan ng pag-suicide ng estudyante. And so ibig sabihin, Doktora, mayroon talaga.
Yes.
Hindi ba natin makuha yung sapat na bilang noon, yung datos noon, kung ilang porsyento? Pakiulit nyo nga.
7.5 as of 2021.
Okay.
Kasi yung YAFS data, every 10 years kasi yan eh. So
Hindi
we'll
ba
be
natin pwede magawa because of what is happening right now? Hindi ba pwede natin, walang mga suggestions, walang nabubuo na mga ganong klaseng suggestions na we can do this on a yearly basis?
I think for now, wala akong available na data right now,
Okay.
but we can actually ask my other colleagues.
Pero
if they
are you
have
going
current.
from your end, are you going to recommend kung yan ay ginagawa ay every how many years?
Every 10 years.
Every 10 years? Napakalayo naman ang agwat noon. Baka kailangan, doktora. Ano
Pero
po?
every census naman ng hospitals, they actually have
Okay.
those who actually referred for suicidal ID attempt. And I also work with PGH kasi for the past 3 months, November, January, December, January, kasama ang toxic ingestion sa top 10 reasons for
Toxic.
admission sa emergency room. So yun tumuloy na talaga. So top
Toxic.
10 siya sa emergency room sa PGH.
Okay.
So that's already
A
it
lot.
actually tells you na problematic siya. In the
Okay.
same time, may iba doon na talagang may mental health condition na talagang nag-attempt pa rin. So
Okay.
parang we have to beef up all the services available for them.
Very good, Doktora. Thank you very much for being honest. And I think tama lang na mayroon mga dapat na mabalangkas na mga batas sa dalawang kapulungan ng Kongreso. This is not a joke matter. The way I look at it, batay dun sa ating pakikipag-usap sa inyo. Now, Doktora, ano yung mensahe nyo sa mga parents na hirap intindihin ang changes ng kanilang mga teenagers, yung mga nagbibinata, yung mga nagdadalaga. O makinig kayo mga nanay, mga guardians. Go ahead po, Doktora.
Sa akin kasi, let's look at adolescents na hindi pasaway. More parang look at it from another lens na kailangan nilang supportan natin to direct them to the right behavior. So as parents, please take the time to actually listen. Listen without judgment and actually ask their opinion on how they plan to solve things. At the same time, you can actually give suggestions on how to make things better. Mahirap sabihin, mahirap gawin, pero let's actually try to make an effort to actually communicate better with our teenagers.
Listen without judgment. Ibig sabihin, makinig ka lang, huwag kang magsalita. Ng panahon natin, hindi ganyan.